It's week 1 of the National Football League, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Vikings and the Chiefs, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 23.
It is perhaps the best home field advantage in all of football, and certainly the loudest as we welcome you to GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Today it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Minnesota Vikings and the Kansas City Chiefs. With my good friend Charles Davis in the booth, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and the moment has finally arrived, CD. It's time to begin a new NFL season.
Partner, there's no hiding my excitement as I got ready this morning. I could not wait to get here for this game. Imagine what it's like out there on the field for those players, though. OTAs, training camp, preseason has all led to this moment when they officially kick this one off to get the season underway.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Kansas City. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line. Under center for the Vikings, out comes the former Michigan State Spartan and longtime veteran Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a fourth-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
First play and a first pass for Cousins. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early second and long they're facing. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sacked on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to look deep now for Landry. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. The Vikings send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. That's taken it around the 40. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly, you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start this drive out on the ground. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
That's a very nice game there. Confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
That's a ball he needs to let go of there. Wasn't the most time in the world to work through his progression, but NFL quarterbacks, they've got to sense the pressure. They've got that internal clock, and the ball has to be gone. And if you're not going to escape and run for it, you have to let it go before the pressure gets to you and puts you on the ground.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the PI decline, and that'll give him a fresh set of downs.
And when you scout tight ends, one thing you want to know, just how strong they are. And we saw it in evidence there. He was able to fight through all the contact and still secure the football.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Second down and 8.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early.
Defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
Automatic first
And
down.
I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like it. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Chiefs are on the board here first in the season opener. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. Second down.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They run it again with Cook.
And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sit through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive.
Perfect start to the season on their first drive last time out, able to find the end zone. Now we'll see if they can make it 2 for 2 here in week 1.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Now a handoff running through the middle. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. And Mahomes picking up the first as he slides and hits the deck. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Maurice Hurst, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
To try again after the sack. Mahomes, he finds his man. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Tyrell Dodson leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, 68 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh, no. And their worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
Yeah, and you see the final number there on how far that ball traveled. Pretty impressive. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And he starts his new year off on the right foot as well, as this kick is good. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams. And that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them.
The second quarter from KC. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. From the gun, it's Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
They start the drive with Cook. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then it curls back inside for the completion.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cousins now. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Our partner guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And this is going to be caught along the sideline. Nicely done, but right at the line of scrimmage. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And this will be taken at the 13. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Mahomes throw taken in by Valdez-Scantling. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Avery. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Mahomes going to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So this defense clicking early in the year, week one, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like it.
Point after here coming up. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. And now here comes Kansas City.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. Hands it off out of the gun. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Mahomes now to throw. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves instead. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Mahomes throwing complete to Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. On 1st down, Avery. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter. 14-7. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over it from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And out now come the Vikings. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
To throw again on 2nd down, Cousins. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. 2nd and 2. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Cousins again. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Right back to Cook for another completion. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. To throw is Cousins. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 17-yard line. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And the Vikings are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll throw again. Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the final act of the drive was the touchdown catch by Dalvin Cook. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble of bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. All right, we will save the week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And they're down on the scoreboard. Sort of a sloppy first half. Now, Coach Davis, if you were in the locker room, what would the message have been?
I think I'd have to go with something you don't ordinarily go with in the NFL. That's a fire and brimstone. You've got to fire these guys up. Make them understand what's going on out there. They were so sloppy in the first half. Too many turnovers. Tighten things up. Maybe get in their face a little bit. Get in their grill. And then send them back out.
And he is met in his... line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They go play fake. Mahomes forced out to his left. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
It's Kelsey on the ground. And he's going to get this down near the 25. A few moving pieces on that play, because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. If you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
Right back to him on 1st down. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey from 17 yards out. And the Chiefs have got it back to within a score. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You got to be careful right here.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Third and short yardage, Cousins. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that, but that would have been a big play. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. They run a draw here on 2nd. Now the ball comes loose, and this belongs to the Vikings. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. On 2nd down, Cook. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Cousins on 3rd and 2. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he can only manage to get a... Mahomes. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Now Mahomes got to have this one. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. First down now, but that clock rolling. Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. Mahomes. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. Mahomes. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
So with just a few ticks left, they need a miracle. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though. Now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for Minnesota, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal.